Yes, we're back on another solo, and I did say we would be back with Chris and I, so I did lie to you. But it was for good reason. No, it wasn't actually. I got busy. I couldn't record when Chris could, and then he couldn't record until Thursday, so today's Wednesday, and I'm going to put this out today on Wednesday, the 4th. So Chris and I are going to record tomorrow, and that'll be next week. So we're going to answer some of you guys' questions that came in. So I'm just going solo today. Something that's very special and near and dear to my heart. Mindset. Now, we've talked about this kind of stuff before. We've kind of gone over some of these things, but I've been getting a lot more content served on my algo that is kind of mindset, like topics about mindset. So for some reason, it's hitting me hard. And I think another reason is because, as some of you know, I've changed gyms recently due to moving, and I'm going through the poop storm right now. What do I mean by that? Well, I always promote cross training. Like, I think that is one of the best things you can do, and I still do. I think it's something that will help your development as a grappler and a person and all this kind of stuff. It's going to challenge you up in the old noodle. Well, for the smooth brain people like myself, it actually can cause problems. Now, when we get through those problems, we're going to have good things happen, right? That's the theory, at least. Right now, I haven't quite got there yet because a couple things. With cross training, and I'm not cross training, I'm just at a new gym. So you can take this as cross training, you take this as you're joining a new gym or you're trying new gyms. And this is for people that have been doing jiu-jitsu. You're not like a first day person. You could be just a couple stripe white belt on it. Obviously, I'm a black belt, so I've been doing jiu-jitsu a little bit, and I'm in the culture. I'm in the nitty gritty. But I got a little list here. And one of the things is dealing with not having the success that you were having at your old gym. So, or if you're cross training, you're not having the success that you would normally have in your home gym. What I mean by that is my A game is not working as effectively here, or not just at the gym I've chosen to make my home gym, but when I just drop in at places. It feels like my A game is just not working as well. Even my B and C games, like it just feels like I'm not as proficient, or I just feel like a big bag of dicks. Now, my mom's probably gonna hear that, and I apologize for the vulgarities. But I couldn't think of anything else. So another thing is my cardio sucks. And I'm usually the guy that can go round after round after round. And yes, it's hotter down here. Yes, it's a little bit more elevation. At least I'm going to put that in my disclaimer of like why I suck. And I think part of the reason that my cardio has been so bad, not just the heat and all that kind of stuff, is the nerves. I negative talk myself into being nervous going into class, and then once I'm in class or sparring or open mat, I'm Jedi tricking myself, and then I get the heart fluttering, the blood's flowing or not flowing, whatever that reaction is, and they feel like they're heavy, like my arms are just like, my forearms are full of blood, and I can barely grip, I can barely breathe. And then I start performing worse than I normally would if I was relaxed, which at your home gym or your previous gym, if you switched, you're always relaxed, right? So it doesn't have to do with like quality of training partners. It's all I'm starting to realize is up here. And so I've been like really going through just a poop storm lately because I feel like I'm better than what I've been able to show my new teammates and like people in the community. but I just have not been able to perform. And I'm starting to realize a big part of that is one, my mindset. Um, Two is I get worried about looking like an asshole. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're an advanced belt and you go in and you don't want to be looked at as like a pushover, of course. You want to rep that, you got good jiu-jitsu, but then you also don't want to be looked at as like the spazzy guy that's trying too hard or, you know, can't be controlled or something like that. So it's like this hard medium or this hard balance. And which one are you going to do? Which one are you going to fall towards? Well, I'd rather fall towards, let's say, I'd rather be looked at as kind of spazzy and like, but I'm looked at as like, oh, he's a hard roll, he's a tough roll. Or no, he's more controlled and safe to roll with anybody of any size, but he's not the hardest roll in the world. It's hard to find the medium, the middle ground, and I feel like I side towards the can roll with anybody. And when I drive home with the music off crying, it's like, why are you such a weenie? Why don't you just actually give hard rounds? And I'll have moments where I ramp up, especially because there was just a big comp training for the Master Worlds that just happened. But at the same time, then the cardio thing kicks in, and then you start beating yourself up. Holy smokes. And we've talked about that, the negative self-talk. If you go back to the episode with Andrew Solheim and myself and Chris, I don't remember which one it was. Maybe I can put it in the, like, right up in the top here. And we talk about neutral comments to ourselves, neutral self-talk, which I'm going to go over an example today, where it's not necessarily where you're talking about performance stuff. You're just, it's hard to kind of explain what a neutral positive self-talk is. It's stuff that you can actually control. You can't control the outcome, but you can control your effort, right? So getting out of our comfort zone when we go to new gyms is showing itself to be harder than I actually even thought. And I'm someone that cross trains a lot. I'm like a nomad. I got my home gym, Cascade, and now Aries, Arizona, but like the comfort zone, like I thought I was going to be prepared for it, and I absolutely am not. It's been Jediing myself every single night, every time I go to class, and on the way to class and on the way back. And part of it is also the comparison game, which is the comparison is the thief of joy, and that is hitting really hard because it's cool because this new gym I've been at, Aries, Arizona, they have a lot of master competitors, which is great for me. I want to experience the adult level guys just to like, I know I'm going to get my ass kicked, but just to experience that level, and that speed and all that kind of stuff. But I'm at a gym with a lot of masters competitors, so there's not an easy round. And what I mean is like there's a lot of black belts. There's 14, 15 black belts on the mat, and they're all master competitors for the most part. And then you have your browns and your purples and even blues and all that kind of stuff. I won't leave out the white belts. You guys are beautiful. We need you. But it's because I'm the new guy and I'm a new black belt in the gym, 95% of my rounds are black belt rounds with other competitors, which one is good for me, but because I have all this other baggage that's going on being a mental midget, I feel like I'm not performing as well as I could to help prepare them and also to help myself get prepared. So it ends up being like this conundrum. It's like a spiral where like I know I can do better, I know I can help them more, I know I can contribute more, I know I can just show better jiu-jitsu, but then I beat myself up to the point where I don't do it because now I'm hesitant. I don't want to like completely gas out, so I don't try things, and then I don't want to like look like an idiot and show bad jiu-jitsu, so then I bottle up, rather than my style is more like loosey-goosey, like see what happens and stuff like that. So I'm getting out of my game completely on the mental side and the physical side. This is basically an episode of me just like talking in the mirror in the bathroom, and you're my mirror. So if this goes a bunch of different ways, I apologize. It's just kind of what I've been struggling with. So I was sent a video, and I haven't even talked to Andrew, Coach Andrew, about this, but he sent me a video that I thought was like, it's so true. And this is all stuff we know. We know this stuff. We know about the mental side. We understand it. I don't care. I'm still going to show our little shit. It's all good. It's all good. I'm going to still show this little clip, and I'll put it on here as I play it here. But it's what separates the top 5 athletes from the top 25 in, let's say, a single sport. So there was a study on tennis players, the top 5 compared to the top 25, and what separated them. Okay, I'll play a clip right here.
There was a study done in Florida at a tennis academy, and what they looked at was what is the difference between those tennis players that are top 5 in the world versus those that are top 25. Was it their diet? No. Was it their exercise? No. Was it when they started playing the game? No. Was it their coaching? No. What they actually found was this. The difference between the top 5 ranked people in the world and the others in the top 25 was their thinking. In the 10 to 15 seconds after a point had been scored in tennis, those athletes that thought positive things such as, I love this game, there's nowhere else I'd rather be, I may have not got that shot, but I'm going to get the next one. Watch this. Those athletes that thought positive, it slowed down their heart rate, slowed down their breathing rate, and across the entire competition, they were conserving a lot of energy.
I mean, that right there, right? That's, as I'm talking about, my cardio sucks and all that kind of stuff. So if someone gets close, let's say they don't even pass my guard, but they got close, I had to do everything I could to not allow it, then I re-guard. And in the moment, I started thinking negative thoughts, which is the opposite of this. I'm stealing energy. I'm stealing cardio. And then it's just a pit, right? A whirlwind. But I've noticed in the times that I've done this, where I've had more of these positive thoughts after a difficult round even, or maybe a round that wasn't as great or something like that, or even just a moment in a round. For example, when you do get your guard passed, and instead of being, damn it, and now you start bottling up and you just, instead you're like, okay, I'm down by 3. Now let's do some work from here. I've been here before. Now this is where the game's at. Regard. Oh, okay, I'm still down by 3. Now I got to sweep, and I'm going to have to pass. Or I'm going to have to sweep and get them out, or whatever it is, right? So changing the frame of mindset that you're in, I think that illustrates the benefits really well. Another clip. Now this is one I reposted, and I'll repost all these on Instagram, on the Grappling with Podcast Instagram. But another clip that really resonated with me, and I'm trying to implement this right now, this mindset, this reminder, because I've heard of this, like loving the journey rather than the end, right? Fall in love with the work rather than the end goal, the medal at the end, or for whatever you're trying to do, whether it's something in like work and like career oriented or hobby or sport or whatever. It's like you can take this into like literally anything. But falling in love with the process. So there was another clip from Flow Wrestling that I thought was literally tremendous. This is a 1.5 minute long clip, and I'm gonna play this as well. So I understand this is kind of like clip episode, but and I don't usually do this, but these are just things that I've found that I'm playing regularly to myself. Like I'm rewatching them regularly just to like not go down that evil demon road, which I have a little voice that can be good for me, and it's helped me in the past with like, hey, don't be a pussy, you know. As I get older, this is so woo-woo-y. I'm gonna go put essential oils on my face after this, but besides that part, as I get older, I'm realizing that I don't have to have only that voice, and maybe that voice can be a little different, and I'm actually going to be more successful with a different style of voice. With that, let me play this.
Who in here gets nervous? Everybody, take a deep breath and surrender the outcome. Because when we think about the outcome too much, oftentimes paralysis happens. We do 0 moves. We're scared to open up. Oh, if I shoot, I might get scored on. And we do less. We wrestle not to lose. Oh, you gotta hate losing more than you love winning. No, you don't. You have to love competing more than anything in the world. And I bet you, all of you, like winning more than you like competing at all. And here's an example. Jacob and I are at an open tournament. And the announcer, Johnny versus Jacob, Matt won. Jacob shows up. Johnny's not there. What do you think is about to happen? Be honest. Forfeit, right? When we think we're going to get a forfeit, what do we all get? We get happy. We get excited. We want to win so bad, we don't want to compete at all. And that's a problem. We want to win so bad, we get excited that our opponent is still cutting weight. We get excited when our opponent's on the other side of the bracket. You need to want to be in a fight more than you want to win. So stop.
Son of a bee, he's talking to me. He's speaking to my soul. Master Worlds 2022, I thought I had a first match. The guy didn't show up, so I technically got a bye. And I was like, oh dang, I only got 5 matches instead of 6 now to try to get to the finals. I was happy. I was pumped. Damn.
Stop getting excited that you'll have an easier route, and start getting excited for the worst route possible. It's really hard to do because we're so outcome based. We want to win so bad. Surrender the outcome. It's going to happen. You're not going to forget how to wrestle. Be here, be where you are, control the controllables, and get excited for the hardest route possible.
Holy smokeronies. I mean, that's so good. That is such good advice in life. In life, surrender the outcome. Fall in love with the journey. Fall in love with the hardest path possible. Now, I get it. I got a sense of humor too. I got it. It's like the whole Jocko Good thing. When he's like, didn't get the promotion that you want? Good. Didn't get the gear that you want? Good. Didn't get the food and nutrition that you wanted? Good. Got cancer in your asshole? Good. Got your arm blown off? Even better. Dust off. Put a stake on it. Re-engage. I get it. There's limitations to the hardest path. But you can't deny that shit's good. Even you silly gooses. So pretty much what we need to do is just fall in love with the process. There's another video that I won't play the whole thing. I'll just play a little clip from Andrew Huberman. He's like the neuroscientist, neurologist, something like that. Brain dude that he was actually saying some interesting stuff about this kind of process. So I'm going to play that right now.
So you can tell yourself the effort part is the good part. I know it's painful. I know this doesn't feel good, but I'm focused on this. I'm going to start to access the reward. When we focus only on the trophy, only on the grade, only on the win, you undermine that entire process. The ability to access this pleasure from effort is without question the most powerful aspect of dopamine. And the beautiful thing is it's accessible to all of us.
You know, basically, I'm just going to turn my whole Instagram into a motivational page. That's all that's going to happen. Because I can't get enough of this stuff. This stuff's always been around. Maybe that's what happens when you hit 40, 41, 42. You just start falling into every stereotype possible. And I'm doing it. I'm straight up doing it. The thing is, this is our hobby. We need to have fun with the damn thing. We put so much value on the freaking results of stuff, how we perform, how people look at us. And this kind of goes into like everything in life, I guess. But this is literally supposed to be our outlet of fun. And we turn it into, or at least I do, I turn it into something that like makes me mad. What is that? That makes no sense. Interesting example is Worlds. We just had Master Worlds. I have a new teammate that has been killing it all season. Killing it all season. The guy is 11-4 in his IBJJF this year. He's winning damn near everything. Goes to Master Worlds, goes 2-1. Okay. What does that mean? Nothing. The guy he lost to just happened to be better for that 6-7 minutes. Or even less, shrink it down within the round. Or, yeah, within the round, within the match. He might have had just a moment or two. Maybe my teammate had a bad weight cut. You know, like maybe there was an injury or something. Or just he just wasn't able to perform in that one little window. I don't think anything different. I know he's an absolute savage. I know his training partners know he's an absolute savage. Everyone in the community knows that he's an absolute savage. But we like get in our head about that result. Speaking of Master Worlds, we had the old French Vanilla Gorilla. Shout out to Christian. He dropped into the gym I'm going to now, Aries, Arizona. And we've answered his questions on the podcast. He did Master Worlds, Master 1 purple middle, dominated, crushed everybody, got first, won every single match he's had this year, and he's competed a lot. I think he said he might not even had a point scored on him until Master Worlds, like the finals or something like that, or semifinals. But that's another thing. Obviously, this guy's an absolute killer. If he didn't win, would we have thought anything else? No. His teammates wouldn't have. Nobody would have. A perfect example. There's a guy named Marcos Tergosa. Hopefully I'm saying that last name right. He's from Sacramento. The guy literally dominates his division to the point where people are like, why don't you go down in age, dude? Like, what are you doing? Just crushing these old guys. My new coach, Paul Nava, he actually said some words about not that exact scenario, but Paul wins his division a lot. And people were like, hey, why don't you like go down? You're just beating old guys, because Paul's like a Master 9 or something like that. And he had some good thoughts about it, because I say the same thing. I'm like, well, if you're dominating your age division, why don't you just change it up, challenge yourself? But I understand why not, actually, now that I've heard Paul talk about it. But Tergosa Literally, I'm telling you, when he wins everything, he wins literally everything. He travels a lot, like a pro. And he got third at Master Worlds. No one's gonna think that guy's not an absolute murderer. Okay, the dude's a full-blown Charles Manson, and he just didn't. He lost one match. Doesn't mean shit, but we think it does. One last clip I want to play. I thought this one was really, really freaking good. This is from the Joe Rogan podcast about rumination on the negative. Rumination on the negative. It's something that I have family members that do this. I know training partners that do this. Let me just play the clip and we'll go from there.
You know, I never really considered that until your book. Until I heard the title of your book and I read the synopsis of it, I never really considered it. I never considered that thinking about your problems all the time and talking about your problems all the time literally make the problems grow.
That's right. I mean, it's the number one symptom of depression is what they call rumination, this pathological obsessing over your pain.
Yeah.
That's why stuff like exercise, that's one of the reasons, aside from chemical reasons, one of the reasons that doing anything, you know that running errands is good for your mental health, getting out.
Okay, I might call some BS on that because going to the grocery store is literally like Chinese water torture to me. I hate going to the grocery store. So I might call BS on that.
Out of your house and accomplishing anything
Yeah.
is good for you, but sitting around talking and thinking about your problems, that's a bad habit. And the best cognitive behavioral therapists and others, you know, the dialectical behavioral therapists, the ones who do really well with depression, the first thing they do is try to break that bad pattern. But a lot of therapists just indulge it.
Yeah, stupid therapists. What do you know? Anyways, that rumination on the negative. We see that even in minor, small senses with if our guard gets passed. And then we can just beat ourselves up and ruminate, dwell on that one moment for the rest of the round. Remember the earlier video? People that can forget quickly. There's a golfer right now. He's basically on a historical winning streak, like to the level of Tiger Woods. His name's Scotty Scheffler. One of the things he's known for being good at, that he's having this historical run, is if he makes a bad shot, the dude is good about just forgetting it and getting to the next shot. It's almost like a restart. But he does it even after good shots. Don't get too wrapped up in any one thing. And I think being able to do that in life, but then also in specifically our grappling journey, it would be tremendous. One would be just way freaking happier. The ups and downs of training. If someone doesn't have to deal with this, you are blessed. But I deal with it. I deal with all this crap. And I want to know if you guys do. Like, if you guys deal with some of this stuff. What do you do that helps? Do you do any of these things? You try to focus on the process, try to focus on loving the journey, blah, 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 blah. Let me know. Because your boy needs some damn help. I just had a vent session for like 30 minutes or whatever this has been. So, grapplingwithpodcast@gmail.com. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. I was just on the BJJ Fox cast, or the Foxcast BJ. You should probably know that. With Alex Martinez, Professor Alex Martinez, and Professor Dojo. And so that's over on there. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all that kind of stuff. That's a 3-hour long podcast. For some of our long-term listeners, I told some of the stories about like the doctor put his finger in my butt in my 20s. And some other goodies like that. So if you want to listen to that, that'd be cool. Let them know that you came over from here. Or if someone from there is coming here, this isn't a normal podcast. This is what we call a solo, and I'm just freeballing right now. Literally. Yep. We didn't have much wiener talk on this one. So at least I got my legs in there. And now my mom's going to be embarrassed. So until next time, talk to you later.